We'd like to thank all of the people who work behind the scenes all year long on NFL 86, and as we do it, we'll listen to
in the dog pound. Why the Super Bowl champions won't be back to the Super Bowl this year. Wrestling. Folks, is it showbiz? Is it entertainment? Whatever it is, it's a lot of fun. Just like in the movie Jaws, here they were, the San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana, just when they thought that it was safe to assume they had an equal chance of winning their game with the Giants this afternoon, everything comes apart. The Giants take a big bite out of the 49ers offense. They leave San Francisco dead in the water. It can't be right. It can't be right. 49-3? There's no way. This 46-point victory margin is the largest in an NFL playoff game. This all the way back since the NFL and the AFL actually began in competition with each other in 1970. The Giants now host the NFC Championship game, and it didn't take long for them to set a tone on victory today. I think that the first key play was Jerry Rice headed for the end zone. He's got a touchdown. He fumbles the football. If he recovers, he'll still have a touchdown. Jerry Rice, obviously involved with the key play of the game. Did you know, Jerry, it could have been a touchdown there for you?
Well, I knew it was a touchdown. It was just the idea of me just, I should have ran under control and not really just try to overdo it.
10 plays later, Phil Simms would go to his tight end. That's Mark Bavaro. Bavaro, as he's done so often this season, over the middle, touchdown, 7-0. The Giants have the lead. It would continue to mount. For in the second quarter, boy, you talk about great blocking. Folks, watch the line of scrimmage here. There's not one, there's not two, there is 4 great blocks. 4 blocks. Joe Morris with great vision makes a little cut back to the inside, then to the outside. You would figure Joe Morris would be celebrating in the locker room having gone for 159 yards. But instead, Joe Morris was philosophical, talking to the New York press.
Last year, we're immature. We didn't realize that, we could have had something great. But this year, we realize how great we can be if we take care of it ourselves. Because nothing you guys write, nothing anybody else says about this team is going to matter. Because the 45 guys there in our coaching staff determine how good we're going to be. Because we've worked hard all year to get where we are. Nobody's giving us a free pass.
Joe Morris, running back for the Giants. Joe Montana would be hit by Jim Burt. You all know about that. Lawrence Taylor with an interception would go 34 yards for the touchdown. Not even LT was ready for this one-sided game.
We played well. We played 60 minutes of hard football. We physically did what we had to do and was able to win. I mean, the score is still a surprise.
About Joe Montana being knocked out. He is in the hospital for observation tonight. He had concussion, of course, for the 49ers. Truly, the game was over at the halftime, trailing 28-3. Randy Cross with some words of praise.
They're very, very, very good, and they get you on a roll. It's real tough to stop. It's hard for me to envision the way they played today, anybody beating them. But I think if it's going to happen, it'll happen next week.
Next week, of course, meaning when they have their showdown with the Redskins. Phil Simms, folks, 4 touchdowns this afternoon. Here to Zeke Moak. Does anybody know how good these Giants are? Phil Simms with some thoughts on lack of recognition for his team.
It seemed like coming into the game that most people really didn't give us a lot of credit. And, that's kind of how I felt. And I think a lot of people felt that way. I'd turn the TV on and listen, and, it's the 49ers. I mean, we were lucky to beat them. And, geez, they're going to come in here and rah, rah, rah. And it gets annoying sometimes. I mean, we went 14-2, and we deserved to be in the championship game this year. And I don't know. Maybe when people look at us, they don't see much. I really don't know.
Phil Simms. Are you kidding? Take a look at that guy. Huh? That's what happens to people after they play the New York Giants. For the Broncos, today's win was their first postseason triumph. Since, of course, you go all the way back to the Super Bowl 9 years ago. It's been a long time between postseason victories. Second quarter of the game, the Patriots are trailing 3-0. Their quarterback, Tony Eason, who's played so many big games, goes to one of the great receivers in the NFL, Stanley Morgan, 19-yard touchdown. To the second quarter of the game, the Patriots lead 7-3. John Elway looking to pass. Can't find anybody. Decides to make a cut to the outside left. He goes 22 yards to the end zone. The game was tied 10-10 at the half. They were celebrating in Mile High Stadium by the time they get to the third quarter. Denver, 13-10. Eason, Demosi Tutupu, back to Tony Eason. You look at it the way the Broncos saw it. 45-yard touchdown to Stanley Morgan over Louis Wright. It was 17-13 Patriots, and then the last play of the third quarter. John Elway to Vance Johnson. He beats Ernest Gibson and falls into the end zone, 48-yard touchdown. For Vance Johnson, it was a chance to show everybody what he can do.
I just wanted to have a big game. I was excited about the challenge to come out, and you know, Vance, people probably thought Vance can't have a big game in the playoffs because he couldn't even have a big game in the regular season, but I went back out there and did it, and I'm excited about it.
Just a minute 42 to go in the game. Patriots have the ball on the 10-yard line. It's their last shot. Eason is back to pass. Here comes Rulon Jones, who goes all over the man, Tony Eason. For Tony Eason and to all the New England Patriots, they simply could not believe that they had been beaten by the Broncos and eliminated from the playoffs.
I don't think anybody in this locker room expected that we lose. You know, I know everybody on offense, you know, in a situation like that is real shocked if we don't get something done there, especially just trying to get a field goal. And, you know, it's hard to bite on right now.
This is my third playoff game and haven't won one, so I think it really gets us over the hump, and it's something that we really needed, and you know, just for the confidence factor and to get us in that AFC Championship game. Now you never, you know, anything can happen, and we just wanted the opportunity, and we played hard and did everything we could to win, and we did.
I always thought that first playoff game would feel good, but this is beyond my expectations. I think because I feel so close to this football team and the way that we won it. You know, it was a 45-man effort. I thought overcoming the injuries that we had in the ball game, John being as courageous as he was the second half, it was just a great win. I thought all phases of our game played well. We knew we had to play one of our best games, you know, to beat New England.
You know, one of the most asked questions we always get is so-and-so as nice as he appears to be on camera? That man, Dan Reeves, is not as nice as he appears to be on camera. He is much nicer. One of the genuinely good-class people of the NFL. Cleveland Browns and their fans probably still haven't recovered from their emotional roller coaster yet. Yet I tell you, this was one of the most bizarre games we've seen with the Browns beating the Jets 23-20. If anyone had to feel the pressure, it had to be 38-year-old field goal kicker Mark Mosley. He put the game into overtime. He had chances to win it. He finally does win it in double overtime. Let's go to Cleveland Municipal Stadium, or better known as the world's biggest dog pound. Couple of key plays. Remember, if you will, in the fourth quarter, with a little over 2 minutes to go, the Jets had a 20-10 lead. Now, when Kevin Mack scored, everybody said, well, that'll make it respectable, 20-17. But then with only 47 seconds to go in the game, the Browns had the ball on the 42-yard line. They're out of timeouts. Bernie Kosar hits Webster Slaughter. Now, Slaughter will get all the way down to the 5-yard line. Now, remembering the Browns have no timeout, some of the guys start to celebrate. They're saying, yeah, look at guys coming off the bench. Hallelujah. Wait a minute, guys. Bernie Kosar comes around and says, guys, we don't kick a field goal. We're out of this thing. Hey, so the dogs are really barking. They're saying, come on, with only 11 seconds to go, let's get a Mosley field goal. So he had already missed 2 field goals. This time he does not miss. Ties the game 20-20. Mark Mosley, despite the 2 misses, had not lost any confidence in his kicking.
No, I don't lose confidence in myself. Those things happen. You miss some, you make some, and you hope in the end result is a positive one, and that's what happened today. You know, I went out there and made the last one, and even though it was a cliffhanger, that's the way they happen sometimes.
In the first overtime, tied 20-all, Bernie Kosar would hit Reggie Langhorne on a 55-yard pass play. Now, the Browns would bypass any other plays on offense. They'll go right to Mark Mosley. Mosley with a chance to win it and end it right here for the Browns. Misses a 23-yard field goal. Folks, when you talk about a roller coaster going up and on this play going down, Mark Mosley knows what it's all about.
Well, I think the whole team felt the roller coaster today. It was up and down, and for some reason we just couldn't get any emotion today, but then we broke it at the end and came alive and did the things we've been doing all year.
Now, one of the things the Browns did not do a lot of in the game, they did certainly well, especially in the second overtime. That was to run Kevin Mack. He pounded it to the 9-yard line. That would set the stage for one more visit from the 38-year-old veteran, Mark Mosley. This time, Mosley would kick the Browns right into the AFC Championship game. Mark Mosley hits the game winner, and he adds a new chapter to his book, The Philosophy of a Life of a Kicker in the NFL.